Tales of Olympus, the podcast where we dive into the wildest, most dramatic, and sometimes just downright unbelievable stories from Greek mythology. I'm your host, Ariel, and today we are kicking off a massive two-part special episode focusing on the minor gods, and we deserve to give them their respect. Here's the thing. Calling them minor is like calling the engine a car a minor part, just because it's under the hood. Without these deities, the Greek mythology world and our modern world would fall apart. Right, and today in part 1, we are looking at the goddesses who control the magic of the mind, the bridges of communication, and the very scales of the universe. And we're kicking off with Hecate, or sometimes it's pronounced Hecate, but today I'm going to go with Hecate. Yeah. Anyways, she is the triple-faced goddess of magic, Crossroads, and the night. Her influence on our language is hidden in plain sight. Have you ever heard of the word hecatomb? In ancient times, this was a massive sacrifice of 100 oxen, often linked to her immense power. But more importantly, Hecate is the queen of liminality. A liminal space is a place of transition, like a hallway or porch. In ancient Greece, people placed Hecateia, shrines of Hecate, at their front doors to protect the transition from the scary outside world to the safety of the home. In the modern life, every time you see a triple moon symbol, the waxing and full and waning moons, you are looking at Hecate's sigil representing the 3 stages of a woman's life. Now, in the Percy Jackson world, in the Riordanverse, or whichever one you prefer, she is the mother of Llewellyn and the architect of the mist. As we see in Heroes of Olympus, the House of Hades, she doesn't just give magic to Hazel Levesky. She forces her to control it. Outside the books, in DC Comics, Hecate is the source of all witching magic. She is so powerful that she actually marked Wonder Woman with a secret brand, hoping to one day use Diana's body to reclaim her throne. She isn't just a witch in a story. She is the personification of a mystery that lives in the dark. Next, we move on to Iris, the goddess of the rainbow. If you think she's just a girl with the wings, think again. Her name is literally embedded in your body. The iris of your eye is named after her because of its many colors. In science, we use the word iridescence to describe the shimmering colors of a butterfly's wing or a soap bubble. That is all Iris. In the Heroes of Olympus, son of Neptune, Rick Riordan gives us this version of Iris that is very modern-day California. She runs a shop called Rainbow Organic Foods and Lifestyles, serves gluten-free snacks, and is trying to find inner peace. It's a funny twist, but it hides a deep truth. Iris is the goddess of effort. Unlike Hermes, who uses magic sandals, Iris is often depicted or described as traveling on the rainbow itself, which was seen as a literal physical bridge between heaven and earth. But like Hermes, she was also once a messenger of the gods. She was like the first or second messenger of the gods and Zeus, of course. And next, in the language of flowers, the iris flower represents eloquence and communication. Before we had 5G or instant messaging Wi-Fi, the Greeks believed that every rainbow was a message being sent at light speed. She reminds us that communication isn't just about the words, it's about the beauty of the connection. And the next one is Nemesis, the math of the universe. Now, we move into the second half of our special to meet a goddess who definitely demands respect. Nemesis. Her name has become a staple of the English language. When you call someone your nemesis, you aren't just saying they are your rival, your enemy. You are saying they are the person who defeats you to restore balance. The word comes from the Greek nemein, meaning to give what is due, and of course, the goddess herself. In mythology, Nemesis is also the goddess of rightful indignation. She is the one who punished Narcissus for his pride by leading him into the water to fall in love with his own reflection. She is the reason for the science called tall poppy syndrome. The idea that if one flower grows too high, it gets his head cut off to stay level with the others. In modern life, every time you say knock on wood because you don't want to brag about a good grade or win, you are performing a ritual to avoid the gaze of Nemesis. In the Heroes of Olympus, she is the mother of Ethan Nakamura. She meeting Leo Valdez at a fortune cookie stand is one of the most chilling moments in the series, because she reminds us that fairness is often cold and hard. But check this out. In Marvel Comics, Nemesis is the name of the cosmic being formed when the seventh infinity gem, the secret infinity gem, the ego gem, is united with the others. Wow, that's so many gems. I literally just said gem about 5 times now, including this time. Ha ha ha. Anyways, when the ego gem is united with the others, it creates the cosmic nemesis. It's a perfect metaphor. When ego is added to power, the goddess of balance appears to reset the universe. Whether she's at a fortune cookie stand or holding the infinity gems, Nemesis is the reminder that no one, not even a god, is above the rules of balance. And it seems we finished the episode. But we have a little more time, so we're going to do one more goddess. How's that? Let's go! Now, we can't talk about minor gods without mentioning the goddess who literally everyone, and I mean everyone, carries in their closet. Nike. In ancient Greece, Nike was the goddess of victory, not just in war, but in athletics and art. Pretty much everything. She is often shown with a mass of wings, carrying a palm branch or a laurel wreath, most likely the wreath, to crown a victor. But her influence on our language and modern life is probably the biggest of any minor god. Of course, there's the Nike shoe brand. Their famous swoosh logo is actually a stylized representation of one of her wings. Even the words we use in sports, like triumph and victory, are fueled by her energy. Yeah, that's really cool, right? If you've ever seen the Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament on a Rolls Royce, or the statues on the Victoria Memorial in London, you are looking at the modern versions of Nike. In the world of Percy Jackson, her appearance in The Blood of Olympus from The Heroes of Olympus is legendary and honestly a little terrifying. Riordan portrays her as a goddess who is literally obsessed with winning. When Percy, Leo, Hazel, and Frank meet her at the Olympic Stadium, she isn't just a graceful goddess. She's a competitive nightmare who tries the Greek and Roman gods to force them to fight each other to the death so there can be a winner. She even has her own Nicettes, her four-winged children who serves as her support team. Like, that's really funny. But here's the cool pop culture crossover. And I've been mentioning this for the whole episode, but she isn't the main character in the MCU or DC. But her V for victory energy is everywhere. When we put two of our fingers up, we mean victory, right? Or yay, but mostly it means Nike. And in many ways, characters like Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel represent the Nike archetype, the unstoppable female warrior who refuses to lose. Nike reminds us that victory isn't just about luck. It's about the drive, the speed, and the wings to fly above the competition. She is the reason we strive to be in first place. And in the ancient world, being in second place really just meant you didn't even exist to her. To her, of course. Talk about intense respect. And that is part 1 of our Minor Gods special. We've looked at the magic in the mist, the colors in your eyes, the skills that keep us humble, and the energy for us to win. But don't go anywhere, because next week for part 2, we're doing and going into the subconscious. We're talking about the goddess of youth, the god of dreams, and a god of death whose name is so close to a certain Marvel villain, it'll make your head spin. Until next time, stay mythic, keep your aggro in check for Nemesis, and I'll see you next time on Tales of Olympus. My name is Ariel, I'm 11 years old, and I will see you next episode.